Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is David Ramos and I'm a Christian author. I want to make a quick video for you today. And grab a seat. Talking about how I managed to get 300 pre-orders from an email list of only 1,500 people. All right, so there we go. You see me okay? Cool. So just released my latest book, Magnetic Faith. Came out on Tuesday. Been doing pretty well in the charts and so on. My promotions, I have something scheduled every day for the first week. So I won't really know how the launch all went until probably the very end of the month to see if it's holding the rankings where I want it to be. But a big part of that initial boost is to get pre-orders in. And so this is the first book. I've been a lot more strategic and mindful of how I was going about the whole pre-order phase. So to give you a little preview, this is my probably 15th full-length book that I've released. I put it available on Amazon for pre-order somewhere around the first week in January of this year, 2019. And the launch date was March 12th, 2019. So there's about a 3-month period, which if I remember correctly, is about the maximum that Amazon will allow you to do, is about 90 days. So I put it up for that time, and during that time I followed the marketing principle that, if you've been in the online world, you've heard of it, and it's called the rule of 7 or 7 touches. So the idea is that for a customer, a client, so on, they have to hear what you're doing or see what you're doing 7 times before it sticks in their mind. So that's kind of the principle that guided me during the last 90 days. So, I have the email list of 1,500, and that's a curated email list. So every 3 to 6 months, I will go in and send a weeding cycle. So basically things sent directly and specifically for people who haven't opened an email in such and such time, give them certain actions to take, and that way they stay on the email list. So if I hadn't done that, the email list might be, bigger, around probably north of 3,000 people easily, because I've been calling it the last few years. But with those 1,500 people, I know they're, engaged enough to remain on my email list, engaged enough to be included and mindful of what I'm doing. And so during the last 90 days, I tried to use that rule of 7 to gear the content I was creating and the emails I was sending so that by the end of that 90 days, by the beginning of March, they will have internalized what I am doing and why it's good for them and why they want to purchase this book either before it comes out or on the day it comes out. Now, my rule of 7, get some water here, consisted of a few things. Mostly, it was daily posts on Facebook and Instagram, not necessarily about the book at all, but it included some sort of writing, something maybe related to the topic or so on, something to keep me as an author in their mind, and something just to keep them included in the brand. I went from monthly emails of my newsletter to weekly emails. Now, of course, depending on what you're sending and what kind of genre you're in, I did see probably a little bit of pushback the first month or so I did that, going from 1 email that they would have expected in January to 4 of them. And so I saw a little bit of unsubscribes from that, but honestly because of my consistent social media and because the content I was sending out was shareable, I saw a bunch of new subscribers during that same time too. So it more than made up for it. I think, in terms of an active email list, I saw it go from probably around 1,200 to 1,500 in terms of who's actually opening the emails, responding, clicking on things, and so on. So again, you got to figure out what's right for your audience. But for me, the higher touch, the more engagement provided more good things for them in a way that they wanted to interact with me more and stay on the email list and grow it, if that makes sense. So basically, I sent more emails, I did more social media, and I intensely tried to get on podcasts and so on, so that the whole idea is I don't want to send them or tell them, hey, buy my book every week or post buy my book every day for 90 days. That's going to be ineffective. That's not how you do the rule of 7 well. The idea is that you want them to actually connect with something, hear the message you're saying, see the thing you're producing. And so if I do a 50-minute podcast on some topic that my book also touches on, then I can promote that podcast, and those who go listen to it are getting their second or third or fourth touch, not even knowing that I'm still promoting the book, even if I'm not directly talking about it. And same thing with social media. If I have a monthly challenge, or if I have something related to, the idea that I'm trying to get in their minds, I'm still promoting my book, even without saying, hey, go buy my book. And by sending weekly emails that show a behind the scenes of my office, or that show the writing notebooks I use, or that talk about a struggle I've had as a writer, I'm not saying, hey, go buy my book, but I'm keeping my work and my brand in their minds, so that by the end of that time, that rule of 7 would have taken effect, and they would have internalized some part of my message, some part of my brand, some part of what I'm trying to do that connects with what they're trying to do, connects with what they want and what they're working towards. And they're starting to see, okay, his work is going to help me accomplish what I want to accomplish. And that's basically the real work of whatever we're trying to do, especially if you're a nonfiction, inspirational Christian author. You want to show that your work closes a real felt gap for them. And that's something I'm trying to do better this year, because I know my writing is beneficial. I've had people tell me that, but I know it hasn't reached the tipping point, or hasn't reached the audience it can yet, because I haven't done as good of a job at basically positioning my work, showing them, yes, this X solves problem Y, and helping them make that connection. So that's what I'm trying to do. I think giving them more exposure to who I am, how I think, will help bridge that gap. So again, I managed to get over 300 pre-orders from a list of 1,500 people, which, if you're looking at conversions, that's over a 20% conversion rate, which is unheard of in the online world. If you're getting a 20% conversion rate on $500 course or something like that, that's incredible. And again, this is for a book that you could pre-order for 99 cents or buy the paperback for $10. Pretty low end on the scale there, but I'm still very happy with that turnaround, because that means a very large part of my audience made that connection that this book was going to help them bridge the gap or get that thing that they're working towards. And for me, that's as big of a win as whatever number of books I would have sold. So I hope that helps. I hope you get a better idea of how you might be able to use the rule of 7 as you're marketing your next book or whatever project you have, and just trying to internalize the idea that the audience wants to know what they're going to get out of the book, and they don't want you to hammer them over the head with the fact that you are releasing or selling something new. Try to make it beneficial and valuable for them every time you communicate, in whatever medium that is: social media, podcasts, emails, and so on. All right, that's my 2 cents. I hope it was helpful. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a Facebook Live over my author channel. So if you haven't gone and liked that, go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed, I do author videos and Christian videos. I am as consistent as I can be while I'm in writing projects. Probably during the summer, when some of the projects have quieted down, I'll be more consistent. But yeah, if you want to be on this journey with me, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will talk to you later or tomorrow if you're on Facebook. All right, bye.